1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody has stories about being late to a gig. It's awful. It makes you just feel bad, and I've had so many, and it stresses me out to know that I'm gonna be late. It does, and I've had it happen to me a lot due to traffic issues, due to anything really, a lot of times traffic, because I really try to plan ahead to do this. But one of the worst gigs ever was a gig that I had in college. I was playing for the Jazz One band. It was me and another drummer. We had this little mini tour thing set up where we were going around to all the different high schools and playing the high schools, promoting the college that we were all in and the music program. So we had done a few of these and it was cool. But for this one time, I decided, and I am driving at this time, to load my drums in and travel. I don't know why, but for some reason I borrowed my dad's customized work van from like 1982 or 3 or something, and lots of carpet everywhere and lots of crazy places to sit and benches and just fun, yes. But that's what I borrowed for this little mini tour. At this point, this is me, my first year of college. I have a full drum rack around my Pearl kit, 10, 12, 14, 16 rack, Gibraltar rack, and cymbals, and goodness gracious, 22-inch China, just ridiculous amounts of stuff. It was a terrible way to cart things around. So we're on this little mini tour, and I would drive because the rest of the band all rode together. I didn't get to ride with everybody. I had to drive, so I did that. So one of the days, my girlfriend at the time decides that she wants to come up and hang out with me. So we're just hanging out. I look at the time and I'm like, oh, I gotta leave to go play. Well, she said she'll go with me. All right. We leave just barely enough in time to get to this high school wherever we're going to play. And oh, I was a total simp. Goodness gracious. I'm driving to this gig. This is before GPS, this is before anything, and all I have is handwritten directions and a map to look in Georgia and see where I have to go. So I'm headed, and then all of a sudden I realize that I've gone to the wrong town. The show starts in 30 minutes. There's no cell phones. I had to find a payphone, stop somewhere, call the band director, let him know where I was, and I am booking it as hard as I can go to get there. I got to that high school in the exact amount of time to walk in as they're finishing the last song. The other drummer had to play the whole show for me. They had to use whatever drums they had at that little high school. Oh boy, that made me feel awful, and I know it was because I was way too distracted at that time. I just think about the wrong things at the wrong time when I guess I have to be doing things that need to be done, and people needed me to be there, and goodness gracious, that guy was mad at me for the rest of the year for school because I did that. But it was in the spring, so it was only like a month left. Showing up late to a gig, there's a bunch of them, and goodness gracious, crazy stories about showing up late to a gig. But that was the first time I ever had that issue, and it scarred me, and I tried to never be late again, but it happened again. Oh goodness, that was a terrible story, but that's for another time. Hey, thanks for clicking over. I've had to come up with a way to do a virtual tip jar, a kitty even. If you're in Nashville, you hear that word a lot. But right now, we're not getting to play a lot in Nashville, so I've been creating for almost a year now, doing this every day, trying to come up with something fun and entertaining. So if you were entertained, grab your phone, hold the camera up to one of the 2 links here. You can do virtual tip. It's just a kind of the way to say that I'm doing something okay and you were entertained. It's like Nashville. No one pays cover charge to go in all the bars. You just go in, you tip the band, and you leave. Things have changed. YouTube is the only way now that I can bring live playing to people just to be able to hear. This is kind of what I've gone to. Grab your phone and hold it up with the camera to one of the codes. I hope I did something fun, and I hope I made you smile, or I hope I made you feel something, even if you didn't like it. If you felt hate, I made you feel something. I hope this works. The idea of a virtual tip jar is something strange, and I really haven't seen it, but I don't see why not, because I wish I could tip creators when I see them, and I know they don't have the views to get monetized at all or close to it, but they've done something to entertain me. And thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody coming to the channel.